Are we
All right,
on?
this is Jerry Measimer from North Carolina. He's here at our shop today, or my shop, to stream from here.
All right.
All right.
Now you guys got to understand, I'm from North Carolina now, but I was raised here in Madison. I know I'm in Geneva, but I was in Madison up till I was about 14 years old. So, but being from North Carolina, I speak a little bit slower now. I know you Northerners talk fast. So, if there's any questions, just give me a holler and I'll answer them. I'm going to tell you a little bit how I got into this. This thing started as someone was wanting to they were wanting me to make about 15 to 20 of them for Christmas presents a few years back. And of course, I'm a production person, so I made about 30 to 40 of them. And I didn't like the design of the one that they person originally had. They brought it back down from the mountains. So I started playing with it, and I made about 40 birdhouses for her. And then, because you always think they're going to buy more than what they ask for, and the lady actually bought less. She didn't want to pay the price. So we were raising money for hospice one year for our wood turning club, which is Southern Piedmont Wood Turners. And we were actually turning in a mall. And that was back when the malls would let people come in. And we were turning strictly for hospice. Well, within a 2-week period, we sold $3,000 worth. So right then I knew this thing was going to be a pretty good thing. And I was going home every night making these and just starting out. And I started out with making every one of them different. A magazine eventually got a hold of me, and we literally make thousands of these now. And I've had to really go into whole production with it. I enjoy doing it and try to add more things to it. All this is an 8-quarter stock of wood. That's all it is.
My audio.
So, I mean, I'm sorry. But I heard somebody in the background.
Yeah, somebody's trying to say something.
Kind of caught me.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a 5-inch blank. Measures 5 inches long. By the time I take the wood out of my truck and do a complete birdhouse, I try to get them all complete within 7 minutes. That's the lid, finish, ready to get packed away. And I'm trying to get them a little bit faster too. But I make them out of ambrosia maple. It's really easy, accessible for me. And then I make another kind, which is cherry, and it looks like a little beehive thing. I don't know if he had that displayed or not. Let me grab one real fast. Thank you. And that's this one. And let me show you the other one. And this is the other one. I make these two for a magazine. That's it. And they put in a pretty good size order every month. And I enjoy making them. And they're real simple to make. They are real simple to make. We had a couple guys over here yesterday making them. And I don't know if they're online or not with you guys, but
Yeah, they're both there.
they're both there.
Both online,
Mike
yeah.
says, there's no way I can do that painting, because I do a painting one too.
Yeah. FREE.
And I hear you, Mike. Mike was asking me what kind of tool I had, and I said it's a FREE tool. And he was thinking, and I was wondering if Mike's driveway went to the road. The guys are great. And he didn't realize I got free tools. So I had a great time with everybody yesterday, but I'm going to get started because there's a lot we can go through, and this is a simple project. I mean, for a beginner, and really for someone that's been turning for a while. I started when I got into turning. I was wanting to learn how to turn, and I turned every day after work. I still have a full-time job, so I still turn every day. I just like it that much. And but there's a difference in being a turner that's been turning for 5 years that goes out to the shop once a week or once a month, and then someone that turns every day. And there's all of us guys get into this. We enjoy it, and we spend the time that we can. It's just like golfing. So people ask me about different types of tools. Just get around guys and learn how to use the tools. A lot of guys use easy tools. There's nothing wrong with easy tools. It's the time, and it's what you want to do and make something. But I have mounted this block of wood, and all I do is square chuck it. There's no tenon on it. I do so many of these, and we're taught to put a tenon on it. Okay, I don't put a tenon on these. I make them really fast. I don't really have a problem. My jaws, they're tight, and usually the only time I have a problem is when we have a demo. So I've got an 1.5-inch Forstner bit on here. On the front end of this, I've got a 1-inch hole, and then I have an 1/8 of an inch hole. Okay, I drill all these before I mount it on the lathe. Okay, and I will give you the measurements if you want to see the measurements. Is I measure 1.5 inches down for the 1-inch hole, and then the 1/8 inch hole is typically about 2.5. So try to get it pretty close. People's asked me, do hummingbirds go in here? I haven't got a clue. But according to thousands of people, I don't know, they're buying them. So I don't really care. I've met someone that's, what's a bird person called? They know what ortho something.
Oh, yeah.
See, I can't even pronounce it. So I don't care. I'm from the South. We're still trying to figure out if our mayor, if his husband and wife get a divorce, are they still brother and sister down there? So, you don't have that problem up here. So we don't care. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill the Forstner bit, which is 1.5 inches, and it doesn't matter which kind you have. You can, go get one from a big box stores, Lowe's or Home Depot. The one I have in here happens to be a Freud. The Irwin's okay. And you can resharpen them. And if you guys don't know how to sharpen them, it's a real simple process. I just sharpen the bit sideways right here, right in the groove. And they'll last me a couple hundred, and then I just go buy another one. But we're going to drill down. We're going to go, I usually set the speed about 600. And what I like to do is I like to get the hole past my 1/8 hole. That way when I put the perch in, it's not bottoming out on a piece of wood. So, and you see me cranking this, okay? Can you imagine doing thousands of birdhouses like this? And then what you have to do is get your wife involved. So we're going to get this thing down here, and I'm going to clean it out. So you can tell this is a process. Just doing the hole. See, my Jacob's chuck's fixing to go in the hole. So I let my Jacob's chuck go in the hole, and I come to where the key goes, and I'm deep enough now. So we're gonna remove this. Okay, now it is ready to turn. It's hollowed out. This is a good way of hollowing them out. Okay, after doing about 1,000 like this, I had to come up with something, because I've been married for a while, and my wife was helping me drill. So we came up. Can we slide this off?
Yep.
I'm going to show you what I do now, and it's going to take me a minute just to set up. I know you can't see me, but I'm bringing in this. We made this machine. I got a buddy. His name is Vern Cocaine. Yeah, his last name's really Cocaine. I tell him he's from New Jersey, but really he's from New York. You know how the New Jerseyans are. That's exactly how he is. So he come up with I come up with kind of what I needed, and he helped me make it. So let me get a block of wood. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stick that. I got to tighten it up there. So it's all run off of air. And always make sure when you're drilling, drill from the top side. Don't drill them from the bottom side. It's these Zoom meetings are new to me, just like I guess they are for you guys, because no one's talking back.
Their microphones are muted.
Yeah, I know you guys are muted.
Yeah.
Because
if they don't, if their wife comes in and asks them a question,
yeah,
we're hearing it. If the dog barks, we're hearing it.
So we're gonna, and what I do, I have this set up on one of my lathes. I have three Powermatics now, and we're just my shop's just full of lathes. I think we've got eight. 3, 5, 8. Yeah, we've got 8 lathes now. I have a local college, university. We're setting up a program, so they actually get credit for coming to my shop. I had 30 students for 30 days, and we had lathes all in my shop, so they could, do a hands-on deal. And that's what really is neat, a hands-on. So let me show you how this thing works. This is the first time we've hooked it up in Ron's shop, so I'm hoping everything's going to work good. So this is how we do it now. So that one's done. So we just so you see how I'm able to produce them a whole lot faster now, whole lot faster. And it's more enjoyable. I can push out a few hundred of these at a time, and, and then start turning, because the whole thing is turning. We all got into wood turning, turn, not to drill holes. And we'll have these at a local store one day. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. Can you get that?
I do, Ron will buy it.
All righty, I'm back.
Hey, Ron, if you're already turning 2 holes on the drill press, How come you're
Right.
not just turning the third hole or drilling the third hole on the drill press?
Okay, first of all, you would have to mount you'd have to have the block of wood would have to be perfectly, embedded in a piece of wood or something. And then you're cranking it down and the shavings want to stay in there. And it doesn't have the pressure, my drill press. I'll just put it with my drill press. I guess you could do it. It's just a whole lot faster for me to do it this way.
Well, but you're mass producing it.
Yeah,
If
I
we
am
were doing
mass
it, we'd only be
producing.
doing one or two at a time.
Right. And most of the time, if you got it on the lathe, you just slap a Jacobs chuck in and, drill it. But when I'm doing these, I've got a jig on my drill press that I have a stop block, and I drill out a couple hundred of these, and then I have a vacuum over here that pushes this over, so I do the 8. Once I change it, all I need to do is literally put my block up, and it sucks it over. So I'm really just doing that real fast. I know I could not drill them as fast on a drill press as I could on the lathe. Eventually, if I could figure out another machine where I just put a bunch of these in a basket and they roll off and just, click, 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 and they all get drilled. But I don't know. Machines are a lot of money. But you could try it, but a Forstner bit trying to hold on to it is tough. It could twist. All my blanks are not perfectly square either. This is all rough sawn. And it was a mistake for me in the beginning because I made 2 samples for a magazine and they wanted me to do the same thing over and over. So if I would have done it from the beginning, I probably would have used a little bit smaller Forstner bit. That way it would have gave me enough meat on my sides. I don't know which camera.
You're on this front camera right now. Right there's
Okay.
what they're seeing.
So see how much distance I've got in here too. And it's not uncommon for me sometimes just to blow them out. Blow out half a dozen of them out of 100. That's not bad. But that's in anything. I have tried to hold it, and that wouldn't work. But you would have to have a jig to hold it. And I don't know if you'd have to probably bring it up pretty high to keep it from moving pretty good. And if you got any play at all, it's going to wiggle on the drill press. Was that a good answer or a bad answer?
It's a great answer.
Oh, okay.
Also, the lathe is 2 horsepower over a 1/2 horsepower drill press or something.
Okay, I didn't hear that one at all.
Yeah. Pete, you were breaking up. We didn't hear yours at all.
It's a 2 horsepower lathe versus a 1/2 horsepower drill press.
There you go.
There.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This was the simplest thing for me, I guess, from the beginning, even, from the very beginning of making the first 40. Because, I was turning wood. I said, well, I guess I'm supposed to do most everything on the lathe. So we've got that, drilled. So the next step is we've got to turn it. So we'll put the live center back in. Plastic thing. And what I did, I don't like to put, this is just for me, okay? It's not for anybody else. It's just that it was faster. I sign all of them on the bottom. And if it's got a little pinhole, you know, sometimes signature gets in there. So I made this piece of plastic. This is just a plastic. I'm not an engineer. It's some certain kind of plastic. I don't know what it is. It's just that I've had this thing's probably about 10 years. And it's just threaded. And I put it, I just drill it or screw it on my live center. That way I'm actually jam chucking it on. Everything's jam chucked. So you can make, you know, a piece of wood would be fine. Or you just have a little pinhole, you know, the pinhole on the bottom. I don't like using the cone. The cone that's on the lathe. I have split a lot of wood. And I know the cone, if it's pointed here and it flares out and it's hollow on this other side, it could blow out. So I'm just trying to be careful. I'm going to tell you, this is experience. I am the one they wrote the book about for safety, okay? I'm the one that's broke all their fingers. I'm the one that's broke their nose. I've cracked my cheek. I've had stitches. I've been electrocuted. I've been hit by lightning. I've been hit by a tractor trailer truck. I am that guy. So,
Tim Taylor.
yeah, except I don't make as much as he does. So I've almost drowned on a canoe trip. Canoe broke in half as I was on it.
Smashed his finger this morning.
I
on the
smashed
lathe.
my finger over here at Ron's. It's going to be black. I'm going to lose my fingernail. So anything I can think of to be safe, heck, I'm going to do. From the beginning, all I was trying to do is make hats. And I tell you, when you break fingers and stuff, it hurts. It really hurts. My last finger I just broke this past year, I broke it twice, and it was just something stupid. Of course, that's how accidents happen, stupid. This is a little jam chuck I made. I'm going to show you how I broke my last finger when we get to the other part, because I don't want anybody else to do it. Okay, we got 1.5 inch hole here. We're going to put it on 1.5 inch tenon. I made a tenon. We got 1.5 inch tenon. Okay, so all I'm going to do is jam it up here, tighten it up, and then we're ready to turn. Okay. And we're just going to turn it with a rough and gouge. Let me grab the rough and gouge. I'll tell you what, let me give it a 1/2 inch gouge. And then my beading tool. Yep. Okay. Ron's my assistant over here today. Okay. I don't make anything off of tools, okay? It's just like Ron, you know, we're promoting Bradley. It was just, Bradley's a great guy, and he has these live things with on Facebook every Monday, and they're live. And he's out of Georgia, and I just happened to met Bradley when I first got into turning, and I was at a show, and he makes some beautiful pieces. He does a lot of resin stuff, and he's got a store that he sells tools and everything. So I don't make nothing. I just, you know, I like the tools. I like a lot of the tools. And this is a tool that was, hey, Mike, this is a FREE2. Okay. Those are the best kind. Okay. And it is heavy, and I let a lot of guys use it. It is a Carter & Son tool, and they're out of Seattle. And it is very heavy, and I don't have the when you're doing hundreds of these at a time, it takes everything off of you. You know, you're just putting this thing down and you're turning. You're not pushing anything. But I like all the tools, really. I use Carter or Crown tools. I like Crown tools. They have FREE tools too. So, okay. I like to crank it up. I'm a fast turner. I just like to go fast. This is not to say you need to go fast. You need to go at a speed that you feel comfortable with. When you feel comfortable, that's when you crank it up. Now we're going to ride the bevel. A lot of you, we're kissing the bevel. This is the bevel. And we're just going to ride it across here. And we're going to, my biggest, I don't know if you guys can hear me while I'm turning. So we're going to get it round. And then I'm going to slowly start moving in. You see I'm moving my whole body, okay? I'm not just moving my arms. So we're gonna shape it down a little bit. And then we're gonna come back up. See, I'm cutting both ways. Your tool will cut both ways. See, I'm going backwards and it cuts forward too. So I've got a little bit of curvature on there. And we'll cut it off so you guys can hear.
We can hear you fine while you're turning, by the way.
Oh, great. I was really worried.
Because that microphone is.
I know I'm speaking slow enough. It's great to be back up here, though. I tell you, it's been a long time.
How many years have been for you?
It's 1974 is when we left here. My dad used to work at Cleveland Acme Drills. And we had a little place over here in Madison. And I remember as a kid, school bus dropped us off to pick asparagus. They wouldn't dare do that now. And pick tomatoes. And I got $1/4 an hour as a kid. And it's just good memories, you know. It's just pretty neat. It's just neat. I'm really enjoying it. Okay. Before I'm going to turn this on. Okay, this next tool, I don't know. Do we have
Yeah, you want an overhead?
a zoom? Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a zoom
There
for
you
the
go.
zoom?
That's good.
Okay. Can you guys see that tool okay?
Yep.
Okay. Now what this is a Sorby, which I bought it probably in 2006, and I remade it. You notice how we have a hole here, and the wood's only so thick now. And with this house, you know, if the hole's so thick, if I used I don't even know, I guess they call this a beading tool. It's just been so long. It would make my beads a half a bead. You know what I mean? So that means it would cut deeper. And I didn't want to buy any more wood. So with the hole in here. So what I did is I cut their bead off. I was experimenting with this cutter. I had a pencil. I don't know what happened to
Here's one.
I don't know what happened to your pencil, Ron, that I was stealing. Okay, if you notice this right here and that right there, I said, well, I'll just make a shorter bead, so I'll come in and cut this down. Well, I messed the tool completely up. So I just grounded it off flat. And then what I took it to my grinder, and I grinded my grinding wheel round. And then I slowly started experimenting because I wanted it to appear like it looks like a whole bead, but it's not a whole bead. You guys understand what I'm saying? So that's the curvature I got. It's not even, it's nowhere near a half a bead, but it looks like a half a bead. And then I bought a stone rock. stone file. It's on a taper. I don't know if you can pick this up at Woodcraft. We have a place down there. It's called Klingspor. They do a lot of sandpaper, and that's where I got this from. And I just cleaned it up like this, okay? And I did this. This wasn't a 5-minute fix, okay? So I just kept on cleaning and cleaning. And then I took my card, my diamond card, and I rubbed it across the top. And then I rubbed it across the sides. And then that's how I made this tool. It's and it's just flat steel. I mean, it's just flat high-speed steel, but I started with a high-dollar beading tool. Okay. Now, for the magazine, I had to come up with two different types of birdhouses, but I knew I needed to come up with something fast. You got to do it fast. So I figured, I forgot about turning this. I put this indentation in down here, okay? And this is all done with the same rough and gouge. And then I got my beading tool. And you notice I got different colors on top of my handles. That's the top and bottom. I'm moving when I'm doing these. I don't want to have to think. So I'm shaking that back and forth. That's a bead. And then this is a 1/2-inch spindle gouge. And I just bring this in and I'm riding the butt bevel. And that's how I get the bottoms. Okay. And then I have a wire. I mean, we all know what burning wires are. Okay, this is I went through so many burning wires. And then I started using the guitar strings and piano strings. But then you had to make handles for them. And when I'd get out in the shop and I'd be out there for a couple hours, drilling holes in the handle, sticking wire through, putting, glue on there, holding the wires. And I'd make about 10 to 15 of them at a time. Well, this is for Mike. Mike, this is a FREE2. One of my buddies, he came to the shop and he used to put windows in on your automobiles, broken windows. And I don't know if you can order these handles, but the ends of these just pop out. You throw the wire in there. And that is actually the wire too. He gave me a whole roll of this stuff. And when one breaks, it takes me 2 minutes to fix and I'm ready to go again. I mean, it's just that simple. It's just so nice. I'm very thankful, very thankful. So I just lay it in that groove and I'm burning that. And all I'm doing is just giving it a detail. Okay. And then I'll take 220 sandpaper and I'll sand it real fast. And it's not a fast sand. Okay, this is for the other mic. We had 2 mics over here, mic 1, mic 2. Okay, mic 2 kind of hurt his finger yesterday. Are you mic 1? Is he on there too?
Yeah, he's on there.
He's on there too, okay.
They're both on there.
All right. See, it's going forward, and remember it's got a hole in it. So if you're sanding, you hear that? That hurts. Mike's not the only one that got hurt. I hurt mine too, because your finger does not feel good when it goes in there. So for the guys that have a reverse, put it on reverse and sand it. Okay, just like that. And down here you go. Okay, just like that. I mean, I don't spend all day. I mean, if this was going in a gallery, I might spend more time. So that is the bottom. Okay. That's what the bottom looks like. All right, the next step is the top. I'm trying to find my tools.
There's a,
Okay, that's what I was looking for. So we'll do about 100 of these like that. And then, you know, you go to the next step. I have done production about all my life. I was a drywall man, a sheetrock, you know, up here, I guess it's called drywall, sheetrock, same thing. No brains, okay? You're just working. You get paid by the foot, by the pennies, by the pennies. So you have to come up with ways to do things fast. And before I had my drywall business, I was in the Marine Corps. So of course you had to do it fast. You had to run. I'm not gonna pitch my finger again now. Oh, what? Yeah, I won't need it quite yet. Let me round it off. That's okay. Okay, the next step is the top. I'm probably going to just check every time, see if you guys still hear me, okay? I just want to double check.
You're good.
Okay, okay. It's just weird. Okay. Now you can do it with 8/4, okay? This is 10/4 though. Like I said, I was doing it for the magazine, and this is just what I made, and I have to stick with it. So this is walnut. You use any kind of wood. It's just that I picked walnut and maple for this. It's something that I can get. You know, it's all been dry kiln. So we're going to center it up. And we're going to turn it around, okay? This particular piece is 7 inches long. Okay, the top of the birdhouse is 1 3/4 inches. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's great. Okay. So from the tenon to here, I have 1 3/4 inches to play with. You have to use the whole thing. It's just that's what I came up with. So I got 7 inches in here, and I'll turn, I don't know, about 50 of these. But you got to put it in forward. Okay, so we're going to get about 50 of them ready. And you see me? So we'll turn about 50 of them around just like this. I thought something was slipping. I didn't put one of Ron's spurs on. I call that a slip one. I guess that's a safety. That's a safety one.
yeah.
Ron's got all kind of good toys over here now. Okay, so we'll turn about 50 of these just like this, okay? We'll just turn them around. And then and again, there's no tenon, okay? I don't put a tenon on it. I don't have time to put a tenon on them. So we'll put the chuck back in.
Do something there.
And then I'll chuck it straight up.
Screen.
After I get through, you guys say, no wonder I get hurt. All right. And see, my center's right there. So I'm going to line her back up. And then I'm going to tighten it down. Okay. Now, I'm no engineer, but I have been told by people with these chucks to turn on both sides. So I just do what I'm told. They said it makes it tighter, so I don't know if it does or not. That's just what I do. Okay, I've got my calipers. When I started, I had made this what you call a story stick.
I hope that's not.
In the cabinet world, it was called a story stick. And I guess you call it the same thing in the wood turning world. Okay, there we go. Now it erased.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. All right.
And I marked my lines, and then I got smarter, and I says, you know, that's what they make these for. I'm trying to.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just marked this, just like that. So now I've got my 1 3/4 inches. Now I've got to make a tenon. So I get a bedan. The other one. There's a Sorby. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll need that too. And I need the partner too. Yeah, no one with no handle. That's another FRE. Okay, so I actually use 2 tools right now to do this. This is a bedan. For you guys that don't know what a bedan is, it's like a big parting tool. I mean, I think it is. And I got this in 2006 too. You know, all us guys, when we get into wood turning, we buy a bunch of tools. And we just, you know, I don't know, we get what we're told. And it's pretty short here now. So, yeah, you saw it. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some tenons. So this is enough for 4 houses, okay? I was cutting them longer, but it didn't feel safe. So this feels pretty safe for me. You can do one at a time if you want to do one at a time. So we're going to, and I put the calipers behind it, just like that. That's it. Okay. And it's, you know, my tools are pretty sharp. Always sharpen. If you think it's dull, sharpen it. I'm gonna go a little bit more. Okay. I did 1,000 of them like this, okay, and then parted it off. And then you're always tweaking it. You know, you're always trying to get these things perfect. And I had bought this tool years ago and never used it. This is, I call it a tenoning tool. Now, I don't know the correct pronunciation.
Craft Supplies, it's called a sizing jig.
A sizing jig. That's what Craft Supply has. And
$37.95.
And I think Bradley's going to try to get this too. If you guys promote him, he's a great guy. He owns his own business. So, and this is all he does. And I got this FREE Bedan tool.
Screen out there. But I'm afraid if I do that, it's
And
gonna.
I don't use easy tools in my turning.
Ron, we're picking up your side conversation.
Okay, I didn't hear something.
It says,
I heard
Ron,
something.
picking up your side
I got it. I got it, Ron. Thank you.
Oh, good. So this is the sizing tool, and it fit onto the easy tool. This one's actually a CI2. Now you guys know I'm joking about the FREE, right? And it fits good, but Uh-oh, it just clicked. I guess you guys can hear me still. I keep hearing noises.
We can hear you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Nobody hears me.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. I'm hearing these little beeps and stuff. So, okay. Just holler if you can't hear me. Okay. This is a carbide tip. I guess it's a carbide tip. It is wider than my Badan. If you put these things up. So what I'm getting Bradley to do is get me another Badan. Okay. Because it won't fit in here. To use this tool, you almost have to have the tenon to the right side. So we're just going to widen it out a little bit. And this, for me, this is just a double, another move that I have to do. And every move, it takes away your profit. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to show you how I use it. Okay, the back side of this tool, right here. That's what I want it to rub. So I am holding this tool. I am not holding this like, real delicate. I'm holding it and I want to, see, I need to go a hair deeper. I'm going to go just a hair deeper. I could run it like that, but it's safer. Some of my calipers moved the other when I started shitting it. A lot of times you do things safer after you've done about the, fifth or sixth one here. So we're gonna mount it on here, and I got it the backside rubbing. And I'm gonna slowly come down, just like that. Okay, you can tell by that shiny mark, it's rubbing on the back side of this. It's not taking off much, but it's getting me down to where I need it. And I'm lifting up on the back handle, okay? Just like that. Now I'm continually running the back side. I put pressure on it because I want to make sure I'm running. You can tell on some of these that, how hard I'm holding it. I really try to be real careful with this. And what I want to do now is I want to test it before I take it off. So we grab the one I have. And we just want to make sure it fits. Okay, see, it fits. That's what we want. When I first started doing this, I would actually bring this back up and I would turn it. So I'd turn the top and this at the same time. And then it took too long to make it because I still needed a hole in the top. So now what we're going to do is we got to part these off. This is this is a parting tool from Carter & Tools, and I really like it. I like this parting tool. As you notice, I don't even have a handle on it. I haven't had time to make a handle, and it is so, it's long enough that I don't really need a handle for what I use it for, okay? Now, they make handles, that aluminum handles, everything's interchangeable with their stuff. It's just different collets. So, and I mark the top so I know that's the top. They're sharpened differently, but when this is on the bed, I want to move fast. So all I do is go on in, and I'm holding on to it. And I'm going to open it up. Okay, there's one. Let me just double check. I like to double check. my wife's the one that glues these on, and if they're too tight, I hear about it. Okay, so that's good. Now I try to make it as easy as I can for her. So we're gonna go in, and I just go back and forth, and we just. It's easier when you open it up more. Okay. So that's 4 that I have ready. So we're going to take this back off. Oops. So I do about 200 or 300 of these at a time. Just like that. The top takes longer than anything because you got different stages with it. Okay, this is a one-way chuck. This is the first chuck I've ever owned. So, and I still got it. And I really use my tools, okay? Okay, this is a pin chuck, or it's got pin jaws on it. And this is a Vic mark, okay? And I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed. This is another FREE one. Somebody just didn't want to use it, and they gave it to me. I need my T handle. Is the blue T handle? Yeah, there it is. Right there. Okay. Right. So, like I was saying, I had to figure out how to do these birdhouses in mass production. And, you know, it took about 3 weeks to come up with how to do all this stuff. It's very, you know, it looks simple now. It is simple, but coming up with different ways of doing it fast. So it fit in the tenon perfect. But as usual on a demo, I always forget something, and I did forget something, and I apologize for it. I apologize for it. But I put a bead. Is there a square one already done? One of the walnut ones that's already done over there. No, the walnut one. The brown, is there a walnut square piece or round piece somewhere? Maybe in the bottom, it's already been turned. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, I am so sorry. It's just typical on demos that I forget to do this. When it was in the round and I made the tenon, I put a bead on the bottom, and I do it with a D-way tool. This is a D-way tool, okay? And one of my buddies gave this to me, and a lot of guys are into, they call it basket illusions. It's a real big thing in the South, I know, and they put a lot of beads on a platter or something, and then they color them. And he was doing quite a bit of them, and he gave me this tool. And I don't do those, but I thought it would be cool to be able to use a tool that he gave me. And so what I do is I put a bead on the bottom of the lid. Can you guys see that okay? I guess you guys see how I run it? Mm-hmm. When I first started doing it, it's what I do here. And I'm going to show you how I did it. And then I said, well, this is stupid when I could do it when I made the tenon. Because I would have to, I would literally have to run this thing so close to my chuck. See how close I have to run it? And then bring it out without hitting the side of my chuck and keeping this sharp. Which I could do it, but it takes, that extra second of being more careful than I need to be. But I do that when I'm making the tenon. And I should really when I'm demoing, I should really explain more about it, because sometimes I forget a lot of guys don't turn as much as I do. And, you know, they can't get that close as I can. And then I burn it. I take the burner and I put a burn line in. Now you can use any kind of tool. This happens to be just a 1/2-inch spindle gouge, okay? This is just a 1/2-inch spindle gouge. And then it's got another bevel on the back side.
Ron, go to overhead.
Hey, I heard that. That's good. It's good to hear some talking behind when I can. I don't feel like I'm alone in here.
Should be on overhead.
Can you see it?
Hold on. I got
Okay, he's gonna get it. Now, I do a little bit about me some more. I speak 2 languages too. I speak English and Southern now. See, it takes a while to learn how to speak Southern, you guys.
Some of us Southerners are listening to you.
Oh man, Jocko. Wow, cool.
I can't get it to go. It's
He's a Yank too. Oh, you mean, okay, I'm sorry. That's good. Can you see that at all? You can't see it up close.
Yeah, it seems like he can't get the overhead working either. So there we go.
Okay,
Overhead.
Okay, you're on the overhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
yeah, you're right there again.
Okay, I just don't, it's not, oh, you got to zoom it in or something? Okay, I got you. Okay, and a lot of you guys probably already know this. You said you guys had a pretty good sized club. You see how I got like a double bevel on that? See how I got a bevel and then another bevel behind it?
Yeah, we can see that real clear.
Okay. And the way I do that second bevel is I sharpen my tools on the, what do you call it? Yeah, it's a CBN tool, but what's the sharpening system?
One-way varigrind.
The varigrind, there you go. See, that's all I've ever used. I don't know the names of these things. I just do what I'm told to get, and then I get it, and then I don't have to keep all this stuff in my brain. And then I've got a magnet to do the second one. I put the magnet back in the arm, and then I rest the varigrind on the magnet. It's about a 1/2-inch thick magnet. You get them from Lowe's, and then I just sharpen it again, and that's what does the second grind. Now, the reason I do the second grind is if it's straight, and you got to, if this is just straight, you're not going to be able to do a good curve. But if you got a secondary backing on it, you get that little bit of metal out of the way so you can do a curve. So that I want my top to have a curve. So see, and you can do your top any way you want to do it. Now, if
Right.
we're still on over,
We
you
can't
can
see
see
what
over.
you're doing.
Okay, here's somebody.
We cannot see what you're doing.
You can't see.
I'm
Zoom out.
Okay, he's gonna get it. Ron's going. He's trying. Tell you, the man does a lot.
There you go.
Jerry, you might want to point out the bead on the top again because we didn't see that before.
Oh, you didn't see the bead when I was doing the bead?
That's right.
Okay, the bead on the top of the wood, right? Okay. So if gets me back on overhead, I'll show you.
So
How to
you're
do it.
on overhead now.
I'm on overhead.
Yep, right there.
How close is that? How close they see it, or did they see it closer than that? Oh, where
What
we at?
happened there?
I don't know where we're at now.
Yeah, I don't either.
We're
What's,
somewhere.
All
That's
right.
on. That's over here.
Okay.
He's working out the cameras. Oh gosh, look at him now. Can you guys see that pretty good now?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, let me bring my beading tool back over here. But you guys heard why usually don't do it this way, right?
So the only keyboard that's working is that.
Okay, this is a bead. See the bead at the bottom?
Yeah, we see all of that.
Okay, you see that.
So
All right,
this is the
good.
only keyboard that's working now.
And I usually do it when I'm making the tenon. But I cut that real close
And,
right
between
there.
this and the,
So my tool is not
I don't know why this one's.
touching the chuck, but it is real
you know
close
what?
to the chuck.
I'll make this son of a bitch work.
Okay. Now,
Be careful, Ron, you're live.
he's live.
Thank you.
Okay, when I'm turning, you see the double bevel of the spindle gouge?
Yeah, we can see all of that.
Okay, good. Because I don't see it as close on my screen, so. And so you see daylight behind that second bevel.
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'm really rubbing 1/8 of an inch. So I can make that curve better. And I like the 1/2 inch. My favorite tool is the 3/8. I use it for a lot of stuff. But the 1/2 inch, I can run. Okay, this is a little tiny drill bit. If you ask me what size it is, heck, I don't know. It's for these little tiny eyelets, okay? And I will give you the name of where I get these eyelets at. It's Netcraft, and they're a fishing lure company. And I order them by thousands. And last time I ordered them, I said, don't even put them in plastic bags. It takes me too long to get them out of the plastic bags. So they sent me just a 1,000 in one bag, which was great.
Keyboard's not working.
I mean, but that's the eyelet. So just a little drill bit smaller than the eyelet's what you need. And this is the same drill bit that I have been using ever since the beginning. I painted a handle pink so I wouldn't lose it. And so we're just going to go in here and we're going to drill a hole just like that. The hole's drilled. Okay. So now we're going to finish off the top, and I like to bevel this back just a little bit. I think it just looks better. And I'm going to bring this up to a better point. I don't bring it up to a real sharp point. I like to kind of curve it in a little bit. If you bring it up too sharp of a point, when you do the little, when you put this in, the eyelet in, it may crack it if it's, if you don't have the room, okay? So now the top's turned, and see how the curvature is a whole lot easier to do with the way I have the bevel. Okay, the next step is I like texture in the top. Are we still on the top? I can't never tell if we're on the top. I guess that's the right screen. Okay, I think we're still on the top.
Yes, you are.
Okay. This is a little texturing tool that I got from Crown, and I wear them out, and they send me another one, and it's got a flat base down here. So if you want to duplicate something, you got to duplicate every move, okay? So that's what I try to do. You duplicate the speed. You got to have the speed at the same, and then you've got to have this angle at the same, okay? So they don't recommend it, but I'm in production, so I don't change the speed. So it's as fast as it'll go. I do put drops of oil in here, and I run it pretty fast. So now we're done. if I change the speed, I'd have to, it takes time. So I textured that. Can you see that? I
Yeah.
don't know if you can. Okay, great. Okay, now I put my eyelid in. Okay, this is how I broke my finger. So I was turning the chuck like this. Okay, can you see that real good? Can you see my left hand? Okay, my finger went in the jaws of the chuck right here. And as it was coming around, it hit my tool rest and the top, that jaw came down and it broke that finger.
Hmm.
Now I broke a lot of bones, but that one I heard break. It went, you hear that? That's what it sounds like if you guys ain't ever heard a broken bone. And that put me out of commission the rest of the day. And it hurt. I mean, it hurt. And I'm getting my fingernail back. Well, my fingernail's back. I got a little black spot, a little bit right here, but I'm okay. This is a dental pick. And with Ron's lathe over here, there's a wooden handle, okay? And this is how I smashed my finger this morning. The handle's a little bit bigger than what we normally have, and my finger went underneath the wheel, and it hit the motor. So I got to be careful with my left hand still. But anyways, I take the pick, and I turn it like that. Turn the motor manually. Okay? Now, I don't know if any of you guys ever seen Nick Cook turn and stuff. He puts stuff on by his hand. Well, I did that too. That hurts too. Because if you got a hold of that eyelet, that eyelet's turning and then you get it in all the way and you don't move your finger, it hurts. No one should get hurt after I get through this demo. So the top is done on this part, okay? So we're going to take it off. All right. I didn't mean to take Chuck off. It's hard to remember just doing one at a time. All right, so the top's done. And this is what we've got so far. We've got this so far. All right. So now we've got to make the perch. And this is a piece of ebony. I've got a pretty good sized box of this, and that's the size it comes in. It comes in a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And I cut it down to about, I don't know, 5/16. I want to slide it through. Okay, I want to slide it all the way through the lathe because I just want to feed it. That's all I want to do is feed it out. And on a Sunday afternoon when I'm not doing anything, I'll turn about 200 or 300 of these. And then, I mean, that's a good, easy, resty day. So we'll stick this out. And I tighten it up. So it's not going nowhere, okay? I really like Ron's banjo on this. He has a one-way banjo on a Powermatic, and this is the best thing. And I don't know, I will get one day. Okay. This is what this is a 3/8 spindle gouge that I've had forever. I mean, it won't fit in a sharpening jig, so I don't ever throw anything away unless I can't use it for something, but I find something. Okay, as you notice, I'm turning it over. There's no bevel. It's just rounded over, and then I sharpen it with a card, diamond card on the back. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a fella named Mark Saleh. He is from
Georgia,
Is he from Georgia or
Yeah.
South Carolina?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Mark Soleil, yeah, we had him up at Buckeye.
Okay. I went to his shop, and he was showing me and a buddy of mine how to, do finials and stuff like that. I don't know who came up with this idea, but this is where I learned it. And it's not exactly like Mark's. He polished his. I mean, it's all polished up, which probably it'd work better. But I just want to run a card and go. And I like the idea of it. So, but you have to. I even use it to rough it out. So you can rough it out. But on the perch, I'm just looking for something that looks like a perch. So I kind of make it look like a perch. At least what I think a perch is supposed to look like. And then I can roll it over. Just like that. I just take the tool and I roll it over just like that. And then I take my parting tool, my caliper, yeah, that's it. Like that. Okay, and then this needs to be 1/8 of an inch thick, okay? So we'll bring it down to an 8. The tool rest is just a little bit too high. So we're almost at an 8. So we'll just check it. I don't check them all. So we're an 8. I've been out of practice for a day. And then I'll part it off. So I'll do about 200 or 300 of these at a time. And then we'll stick it in the hole, and that's, see how the picture is. I'm trying to figure out how. There we go. Ron's got so many cameras, it's unbelievable. You see that? Okay. So that just, and we glue it on. We get a little piece of wood, and we put some glue on wood, and we roll this around like that. After we've already put a coat of finish on it, because we don't want to get the glue inside the wood. I'm gonna put the perch there. All right. So we'll coat it, and I know lacquer's not a finish for outside, but I think a lot of people don't put these outside. At least I hope they don't, but I don't know. They may. But any kind of finish ain't gonna last anyways outside. But I lacquer them because it dries fast and it gives it a nice finish. So I'll spray all of them, one coat of lacquer. And then I'll come back to my lathe after it dries, and I'll put a sanding buffer on my lathe, and then I'll sand every one of them, spend, a few seconds on each one of them. And then we'll lacquer them again, and the tops are lacquered separately now. So I have these spaced out on a board, and we'll lacquer the top and the bottom. And then we'll, lacquer this. I get 2 coats. The first coat's a gloss. It just seems to work better than putting 2 coats of satin. So I use a coat of gloss and then a coat of dull rub is actually what it's called. And we'll spray it, and we'll glue on the perch, which I think it looks fine, the perch not being sprayed. I mean, we get that type of finish, but sometimes we end up putting perches on before the second spray. It depends on what my wife wants to do. This is what she does. So we do that,
Full
And
screen. No,
if it's got to
full
finish, the
screen.
glue
full
will
screen. Right
wipe
there.
off
There
easier.
you go.
On the lid,
Still didn't do it.
I just take a little flat piece of stick and I'll put glue up here, and then I'll just put the lid on and move it around a few times and it stays.
I know why. Hit the windows.
Okay,
button,
before
Windows
we do
button, and
any
P.
of the finishing
No,
though,
hit your-
we
press
have
the
to
Windows
do
button and P.
Hey,
the
Ron,
wood
we're
burn.
Hey,
picking up
Jerry,
my conversation.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, Jerry.
Okay, somebody said something I didn't know.
Jerry, what did you mean by buff sand?
Okay, they make they make this mandrel for that goes on like a piece of, it looks like a piece of metal with a little bolt, and they sell sandpaper that's just little strips of sandpaper, and you mount it on that little post. It's just a little round metal post, almost like the size of a piece of ebony. And the sandpaper has little holes on it. And you just continue to build it up, and you can build it up, as high as you want to build it. It looks like your buffer, really, on your, when your buffing machines, except it's sandpaper.
Thank
And
you.
then I hold it and I just sand it, like this real fast. They're pretty smooth anyways. I'm just getting off kind of the raised grain, on that first finish. You know how it
Is
does
that
when you-
called a sanding mop?
That's yeah, that would probably be the correct name. Yeah. And then, yeah, I just cranked. Oh, I can't. It won't reach. You got it? You sure? Okay. Okay. I am no. Oh man, that thing got. I'm no pyographist. I guess that's what you call it. But I had to come up with something simple because they specifically wanted two different type of birdhouses. So this is a wood burner. This is a razor tip. And this tip, I think they call it a skew. I'm trying to get it. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see. Man, that's a good close-up, Ron. Yeah, that looks good. I can tell what we're showing. Okay, this is a razor tip. I'm probably already doing the wrong things. See how red hot the tip is? Oh, over this way. Over this way. Okay, there we go. See, I already got the tip red hot, which, if I burn it out, it's as fast as I got to do these things, I can get another tip. I mean, it's no big deal. So what I come up with is just burning a couple lines in here, okay? Just like this. Everybody can do that. I lay the skew tip on almost on its side. It's at an angle. And I move it pretty fast going down here. And then I turn it this way and I do another one. You got to do it fast. Or I do just because I need to get it done. Okay. Whoops, let me see. That's a hole right there. See that? See where the hole is? Okay. And then I sign each piece. So while I have this in hand, I sign each piece. So I had to figure this one out too. It's either I sign it or my grandson signs it. So that's how I sign it. And then you can take a piece of, now this is before we done the lacquer, okay? This is before we done the, it's hot. You can take a piece of sandpaper and it's kind of milky a little bit and you just rub it out. I guess that's where I get them hot. So I do two of those, one on either side. And I should have only done one when I done the magazine. See, I should only done one. That would have saved me, another minute. Then it's ready to lacquer. Okay. So that's that one. And I tell you, while we got this ebony up here, that's the burning part. You spray it, you're done. And I made up something about where to put it at and, where to hang it and everything. The fun one is the painting one. And I kind of fell in that. I was making these plates. And I don't know if you heard of the company General Finish. I was at a Klingspor extravaganza and I had made some plates and I was just fooling around with some of the colors, and they have a finish. It's called Wood Turner's Finish. And I was able to get it mirror finish. And the sales rep there was pretty, and he thought it was pretty neat. He said he didn't see nothing like it before. So General Finish started sending me some finishes and stuff. And I got into making these little plates and spinning dies on the lathe. I was making a number of them, and that's kind of what led me into the dyeing the birdhouses. Nick Cook said, he says, "Have you ever heard of Chromacraft?" I said, "No, I've never heard of them." And so he got the people that own Chromacraft to give me a call. And for you guys that know Nick Agar, if any of you guys know Nick Agar, does the sunburst plate and stuff. So I said, well, you know what? I like those colors. So Don sent me, some colors from Chromacraft. They actually supply Bass Pro Shop, whoever makes the lures for Bass Pro Shop. They do the dyes. So it's a pretty good company. Pretty big company. And so Nick, it just kept going on. And I said, well, you know what? It might be good I'm going to do one like Nick Agar does one of them plates. And it just kept going. And then I just started adding things. So I'm going to make another perch because I'm going to make another birdhouse. And we're just going to turn it pretty fast. My hardest thing about demoing these was, from start to finish, from the beginning, I would turn one in about 7 minutes, and then we had another hour and 20 minutes worth of a demo to do. So so the painting's kind of fun, and any of you guys can do the painting. Any of you, right, Mike? Mike did. He said, "Oh, there ain't no way." I said, "Yeah, it's a piece of cake. You can handle it." Putting the caliper. I said, "It ain't nothing. I just play more. I just play a lot with the stuff. Like I said from the beginning, I don't do this full time. I have a full-time job. I get up at 4:30 in the morning, just like everybody else does. And I get home at, typically 6 o'clock.
Oh, you sleep in, huh?
Yeah, I sleep in. I sleep in to 4:30. I wake up at 3, but you don't want to get up yet. All right, let me see. I'm going to turn the top too while I've got the chuck. I'm just doing this for speed right now. All right. We're going to go ahead and turn another top. Only thing I'm going to have to do is turn the bottom when I get done. Okay, I just needed a little beat down. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my little All right, we're gonna burn it. You got to be real careful when you're burning. I'm very close to the chuck, okay? So that's why I typically do this when I'm making that tinning. And then let's see how good we are. We'll go ahead and drill a hole. And then we'll we'll get the top done, and then we'll get the base on. All right. Sometimes, okay, if you can see this one, see how I get a little bit of furry there where the wood's tore out a little bit? We'll just, I'll grab a piece of sandpaper. Looking for my dental pick. Did we put it back in the red box? Dental pick. Yeah. I can't get it tight enough with my fingers. There we go. Okay, if you forget to sand it after you put the dental, or after you put the eyelet on there, you don't want to put your finger up there. Oh, that's rough. That's some rough sandpaper. I knew I dropped a piece somewhere. There it is. Okay, I'm just getting off that thing. Getting off where that hair, the wood was spurred up a little bit. See, just that little bit took it down. You're okay. All right, so that is the top. Now we'll put the base back on. I just didn't want to change chucks, that's all. I was lazy. I don't know how much time we have.
You got an hour yet?
We still got an hour.
50 minutes.
I got an hour and 15
No,
minutes?
no, 50
Oh, 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
Oh, gosh. We're going to have to make 3 or 4. That's why I'm saying that's my problem.
Well,
okay, I need one with that.
less than 50 is good too.
There should be one over there. Already got a hole in it. There should be one. Yeah, let me hand that over there. Yeah. I had gotten some. You guys don't need, unless you want to see the drill machine again.
No. Nobody's ever going to have one of those.
No one's ever going to have. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Mike Nathan might try to figure out a way to do it.
Hey,
Or Pete Wade, yeah. Pete Wade will manufacture them in his Wade Dynamics air drill press.
okay.
It's already well in production, guys.
See,
Well in
already got-
production.
yeah, you got it.
I'll take one.
Well, my buddy that made it for me, he's just great. He figures out. It's like Jocko's on there. Jocko was on he was a member of the Southern Piedmont Woodturners. He's in Myrtle Beach now. He left us. He's a beach bum now. And does anybody remember Charles Farrar out there?
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Me and Charles are pretty close friends, and he said, "Who's demonstrating tonight?" And I said, "Jacques Boucher." He says, "Jacques Boucher? I don't know a Jacques Boucher." I said, "Man, he's pretty good. He does." I said, "He can make everything." He says, "Really?" He says, "Man, I ain't never heard of him." I said, "Well, his mama called him Jackie Butch." And his name's Jack Rion. So we're all giving each other these artist names, and his was Jacques Boucher. You know, you got to have these fancy names. Oh, so we'll turn this down real fast. I knew that moved. And I did not put my little plastic on this one. I just, man, that thing sounds like it's moving. Something sounds like it's moving or cracked one. I do have a crack, but I think we're going to take that one away. Let's see, let me make sure. It won't hit me. I just make sure it's over there with Ron. He's scattering. You always need to have a sharp tool, though. You can see the shavings coming off. I don't know if you guys can see the shavings. The sharper the tool, the better off you are. A dull tool causes an accident. Okay, the other thing I want to show you, when you're seeing if it's round, you don't want to touch where the finger, where that hole is, because that hurts too. When you're, you know. So we're going to put a little indentation right here. And really, you make these things any way you want to make them. And I'm gonna put another bead. I'm gonna check it. Something sounds kind of out of kilter up here.
So how do you talk?
I need to get a little bit more rounder. I see a spot. So I'm just gonna. If you keep the tool against your body, keep the tool against your body and move your body instead of your arms. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna just do the same thing we did a while ago. Okay, we're gonna burn it. And I'm gonna put 2 more grooves in, okay? And let me get my little pointer tool. Okay, all this is a round piece of stock that I grinded 3 sides to. There we go. And we're just gonna put it here and here, okay? Now we'll burn that. I mean, the burning really doesn't come through, but the lines will be the same width, the same depth. Okay, now I want to texture it, except this time, I'm going to texture the bottom because I didn't texture the other ones. So I'm going to texture this right here. I've got it aiming down. I don't have it aiming up, okay? And then I'm going to do a little texture in here. And a little texture in there. And we'll just see what it looks like. It's got a little bit there, and it's a little bit gnawed up there. That's okay. We're going to sand it. I'm going to put it in reverse. I'm going to sand a little bit of it. Okay. I'm not going to spend a whole long time sanding. So it's sanded. Okay. See the little bit of texture here, little bit of texture here. we can add something. Let's just add another detail to it. Oops. You know, it's hard to turn backwards. I'm gonna put a line here, I'm gonna put a line there. All right. All right, now we're gonna paint it. Or this is dyes. These are dyes. And this is I gotta take care of Ron's leg. I done got ink on a lot of his stuff. He's gonna kill me.
Don't worry about it. That's what it's for.
All right, now we're gonna dye. Now my dye system is for my machine. I don't have a high dollar equipment. Okay, all it is, they sell this at Harbor Freight, and they usually have one kit per Harbor Freight. So unless you guys get out there and ask them, I have 2 kits of these. And,
Check the
turn it down just a little bit. I think you got to pull it out.
You gotta pull it down.
Yeah. You have a, oh, there's a block. Oh, let me check it. That's
Hey,
good.
Can we see?
Okay, I heard somebody.
Mike?
Can we see a different view?
You want a view of the?
Yeah, all we see is the
I'm
top.
fixing the spray.
The paint fixture, show them the view of the paint fixture.
Oh, he wants a view of the paint fixture. Okay, let me
Oh.
bring it over here.
Yeah, we have to bring that over. Hold on.
Okay. It's real pretty, okay?
Oh, I gotta get this.
That's okay.
There you go.
I got it right there. I'm gonna try to move my hands. Hold on.
Hit number 1. The number 1. The number
He's
1.
gonna try to zoom
Just
out
the
a little
number
bit.
1.
It has 6 guns, okay? And it's just on a little,
Yeah,
it just spins around.
number 2.
Uh,
My bad. There you go.
Oh, you got it. Okay. Can you see that gizmo?
Sorry.
And I will be honest with you guys. It stays like this. I don't clean it out after every use. I think, I don't know the last time I demoed for Southern Piedmont, and that's the last time I haven't used it since then. And I mean, they'll get clogged up. I had to clean out one of the guns yesterday. But when you're in, it's not like you gotta, you know, if you guys are working on stuff on a Friday evening or Saturday or whatever, and you gotta get it cleaned out before Sunday, even though you're gonna do it. You don't have to. I mean, I don't do it. I don't do it. I'll just say that. And it's this is all chromacraft, okay? And I do, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe it has shellac in it. I'm not a chemical engineer, and I asked Don. He said, "Well, it might. Yeah, it's got this chemical and that chemical." But they are good. They don't fade out. That's what I like about them. I mean, I've used other types of dyes, and but I really love these. These things are great. So I clean it out with denatured alcohol. So, and when I use trans tint, I typically use, you know, denatured alcohol for the thinning. I don't do a water. Okay. We want to do like a sunset deal, just, you know, for this color. But there's all different colors. I mean, the sky's the limit. So this is yellow. And I'm just going to fade it. Fade it a little bit. All right, that was the yellow. Everybody can do that, right? And we'll even make it darker. Okay, we'll make it real dark right there. I'm just don't want to mess up anything. Oh gosh, I didn't know I was about out of red. I am about out of red. Good grief, I didn't know that. Okay, now we're gonna do the red, which You know, red and yellow make what color?
Green,
Orange.
orange, okay. I don't know.
So we're gonna make a little orange right there. And then we're gonna go a little darker to have a little bit more right there. A little bit right there. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's looking okay. All right, I like black. So we're gonna put black. I spray this whole bottom with black. And it doesn't take much dye. I mean, it looks like, and then I come up just a little bit right here. All right. And then I'm gonna put a little here. I'll make it black. And then I'm gonna let it ear over the edge just a little bit. Okay. A little bit more than what I was wanting to do, but what the heck. Okay. So that part's done. So the next step is doing this. See how that is? And how I was able to come up with that was none of this stuff's secrets, but I was we had a school that there was a university that I was teaching at my shop, and they gave me a bunch of Bombay ink. Okay, and this is Indian ink.
So I know you said that the holder for the 6 airbrushes is from Harbor Freight. And what is the name of the airbrush itself?
That's Harbor Freight. The whole thing comes as one kit.
All right, thank you.
All the guns, and I don't know if it was like between, I'm gonna say $150 and $170.
All right,
Something like
and
that.
is there any particular size tip, or it doesn't matter?
No, it's just, it all comes, there's no difference tip for that.
All right,
I mean, it's not a precise thing like, you get some of these high dollar guns. Like if you were airbrushing, something on your car. I mean, I'm not doing that fancy of stuff. Because
All
you
right,
see
guys,
what I'm doing. That's exactly how I'm doing them, just like that. It's just different
I'm looking at
colors.
it on Harbor Freight's website right
I
now.
don't know did you guys see the other ones that I had? The red, maybe the red, white, and blue one, and maybe the green one and the blue one. I got them hopping over here. There's just so many things you can come up with. I mean, the sky's the limit, really. Okay, see this one? This one, well, I did a bunch of these on Memorial Day. So instead of letting it go round and round, I just sprayed it across. Blue, red. And we're going to use black ink on this, but I used golden white on this one. That was the only difference. Because this came as a kit too. The colors in this ink thing, they gave it to me from the college as a gift, so I wanted to use it. So
FREE.
FREE, that's right, Mike. FREE. That's what you got to do. Okay, and this one was yellow and blues, and it had some turquoise mixed in. So you do, just anything. And then this one was some figured maple. Those darker lines, that's figured maple. And then I think I did like a silver ink on that one. But the sky, Chromacraft has a cloud paint that's pretty cool. And the cloud paint will make the whole thing look iridescent. But it is so, I am no artist, okay? I don't consider myself an artist. I just play. And say you put a dot and you move it around. And that's all you do. Move it till it stops. You want it to go to the bottom, take it to the bottom. I mean, you can do little areas, big areas. See, it's not that, there's nothing to it. When I first started doing it, I had those little tiny paintbrush and I was splattering it on there. Now, but for the guys that don't know, the airbrushes, if you just push down straight, it's just pushing air. When you pull it back is when the ink comes in. I'm probably getting close to getting out of this ink. So. You can make it I don't know. I didn't tell you, Jim Duxbury, which was online. I don't know if he still is, but his wife, are you on there, Jim, right?
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to tell him that you guys called me up. Our state magazine in North Carolina called up Rita and Jim, and Rita and Jim, or they asked Rita if she could do these birdhouses, and she said no, but I think I know somebody that can, because they didn't want to get in production. Jim's got all this money; he don't need to work no more.
No, that's not how it happened. Rita said, "Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think this will be." I said, "Wait, you're gonna have to turn."
This would be good for Jim to do, right?
No, you're gonna have to do.
I was gonna do it, but
200 a month or something. I says, you better think twice about this.
So that's how I ended up getting it. And it was kind of funny, the whole thing, circles work around. I did a demo at a club, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how this thing worked out. I did a demo at a club. There was a guy in the audience, somehow or another, he was making them. And somehow or another, he was selling them in the mountains or whatever. And our state magazine, he ended up making them for our state magazine. And then our state magazine, I guess, contacted Rita and Jim because he couldn't keep the production up. And he's a great guy too. But it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. There's no screwing around. And the guy's daughter, she does a lot of pyrography work. She does some real pretty pyrography work. And I was like, there is no way I'm going to do all that kind of stuff. And so I called the fella up. I said, look, I have been contacted about doing it. Even though I showed him how to do it, I was letting him know, they contacted me, I want to make sure everything's A-okay, And he told me, he says, yeah, I didn't turn them birdhouses. I just go get wooden dowels. I says, you're a wood turner though. So, if you guys going to make these things, let's make them, let's turn the stuff. So that's what I think. But it was really nice. It's really worked out real well for me. I really appreciate Rita and Jim putting our state on me. And I'm going to show you the next project they had me to do. And it's just growing. And if I didn't work, it'd be, I have the ultimate best job anybody could ever have, and I will never quit probably. I have got it made. I've worked hard all my life, and I finally got an excellent guy I work for. This is Chromacraft. Let me show you what it looks like. Can you guys see that? And this is actually, I think this is out of Nick Agar's kit. I mean, they have a kit, different colors. And I use one of these foam brushes. And I know when Nick uses it, he uses his fingers and stuff. But I want to come up to a certain point right there. See, I'm wanting to come close. So that's what I do. You can put it on with your finger. You can put it on with your toes. It don't matter. So we're going to do the bottom. And I just thought it looked pretty cool at the top. That's why I started doing the top. All right. So that's what that looks like. Okay, I haven't done anything nobody can't do. I mean, it's just so simple. And you know somebody from North Carolina can do it. You guys can do it.
Hey, Jerry.
What was that?
Jerry, can you airbrush over the Bombay dye?
Okay, you're breaking up a lot. I heard every other word.
Can you airbrush paint over the Bombay dye once you get that on there?
Airbrush paint over the
Dye.
over the
ink.
Oh, I still didn't hear it, Jack. I still didn't.
Over the ink.
He's asking if you can airbrush over the ink.
Everybody's breaking up. I'm hearing, can I use airbrush? And then that's it.
Over top of the ink that you've put on.
Can I use the airbrush paint over the ink?
Yes.
Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay, I heard it in the back room.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I've never done it, but we can try it. I'm going to use, we use yellow. And I'm sure, let me get that pad back. I mean, it's just, I think there's so much stuff. You know, shellac, you can put anything over shellac. You're wrong. Yes. Okay. Now, on some of the whites, what I did is I used those little tubes of glue, little bottles of paint you get from Harbor Freight. You know, it's hobby paint. I mean, you use anything. Just, you know, just playing with it. Now the shellac or the lacquer. When you do lacquer, it just say you happen to want this to be gloss lacquer. My wife says women like gloss lacquers, and the women are the ones that's going to buy these things. I mean, I just hear myself talking now. Yeah. Let me see that. I can hear myself talking, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me.
We hear you.
Okay, this one. See, it's got gloss lacquer. My wife says women like gloss lacquer. That's better. If you spray the gilt, just, you know, like you do it melts the gilt for some reason. So I tape it up with blue tape when I spray it. I just get some blue tape, like right now. Just say I wanted to put some gloss lacquer on it. I'd tape it up and then I'd spray it. But I don't know. I like a dull rub. That's just me. But you know, all of us, we listen to our wives. Women are the ones that buy it. Now let me tell you the difference in the prices of these things. Because I'm always asked, and I don't mind telling anybody what I charge for these things. I don't care. This is for the magazine, this one. I sell these to the magazine for about $20. And I know some of my buddies that are making them, and they're selling them, you know, for $30. But the magazine is selling them for $44. Okay. So, you know, they're making, you know, they got they're retail. They make 50% more than what you sell them for. It's just like an art gallery. Art gallery is going to charge, you know, most of them are 50-50. Some of them are 60-40s. Okay. You can sell these painted ones for $50 a piece at my cost. Okay. And you see how long it took. So, you know, especially around like this time of year, Halloween, you know, these colors are coming out. Figure out some Christmas colors, you know, do that. And they're real easy to make. I mean, I did not sand inside. The only one that's going to feel the inside is a wood turner. They're the only ones that are going to feel. Because I did a demo in Asheville, and I was doing the hat, and I brought some of these up. And as first place, someone stuck their finger in the hole. Well, you didn't sand that. Well, a bird don't care if a bird goes in it, but I don't. I know lizards go in them. I know that for a fact. I got pictures of that. Okay, now we got to do the top. We're going to change this out. Find my. We're just going to put the top back on that we turned a while ago. Getting used to Ron's lathe over here. My finger is not going underneath that piece of wood.
I got to make it smaller.
Oh. Okay. I mean, you notice my chucks got paint on them and all that kind of stuff, but I do clean them every so often. I'm going to dye this one. Okay. We're going to see a little bit of this. Oh, great. So I'm going to dye this underneath here real fast. Good catch. Because you'll see a little bit of that. You know, it don't take a whole lot of dye, these bottles, you know. I ended up spilling more on me than anything. That's, you know, with Harbor Freight, you know, some of this stuff, you know, it leaks and all that kind of stuff. But what the heck? Thank you. When you do sheetrock or drywall, whatever you guys call it up here, heck, you get that mud and everything, you don't care no more what you look like. Your wife gets used to you going to the restaurants with white all over you anyways. Okay, we're going to paint the top. But it's a real nice, their colors are real nice. And I'm not here to sell their stuff. But when I use something I really like, I like to really promote it. All right. And it dries fast. And now we'll put the silver on. They have different colors. I think I said that a while ago. It's gold and bronze, and I just put a little dab on here. It really adds a pretty effect to it. See, get my perch back. See, yep. See that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you can do any colors. You know, just have fun with it. That's the main thing. It's a turning project that it's a good learning thing. I mean, you can make little, you know, beads, coves in here, but it's something, you know, it's other than making. There's nothing wrong with making bowls, okay? But it's just something other different. I mean, some of your families, they got 10 different bowls that you made, you know, because basically most of us give stuff away. I mean, we're just, you know, we give a lot away. This is a way you don't have to go to, you know, you don't have to go to Walmart and buy Christmas gifts. I do not buy Christmas gifts. I make everything for everybody. And it's so nice. I've got my family at Christmas time, you know, you usually exchange gifts. So I've got my family to start saying, okay, you got to make them this year. You know, tell me a year in advance. And it's amazing what they come up with. I mean, it's just amazing. My niece, she collected shotgun shells and she made us a wreath. I mean, you know, so, and it's made right in North Carolina too. If you guys got any questions, I know we got time, right?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes. 10.
We got plenty of time. If you guys got any questions, just ask away.
What does the paint pot look like where you have all the paints?
Okay, I hear a question coming in, but we're breaking up pretty bad. Hold on.
What does the paint pot look like that you store all the paints in while you're spraying?
Paint pot.
What does the paint pot look like that you're holding all the paints in?
Paint pot. I
don't quite understand.
I think that's the jar underneath.
I don't have a paint pot. It's a bottle. See, it's a bottle down here. See the bottle? I don't have a clear one. Oh, let me grab. There we go. Let me grab a clear one. See the little bottle here?
Yeah.
I know a lot of airbrushes have that little pot on the top.
These things cost $100.
For me, this works out good though. Works out better for me than a little pot.
You can't take them back.
And they just come off. See how it comes off? That's why it leaks. And some of the lids, the first one I got from Harbor Freight had plastic lids. And this is a metal lid. So, was there another question? I guess they're opening up the lines or something. You guys still out there, right?
Yeah, we're still here, Jerry.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's on your UVC, right?
And
They're working on the computer or something.
do you sell any of your stuff outside of what you do for the magazine?
Okay, I heard somebody start to say something.
Yeah, I think our audio is breaking down. Do you sell anything outside of what you do for the magazine?
Oh, do I? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Let me show you.
The Acorn.
For the magazine? Yeah, they've asked me to come up with a Acorn birdhouse. And they actually had a picture of one that was, it was on Etsy, and it was from a wood magazine. And I really didn't, you could tell by the time that was all weekend project, you know. So in order for me to, you know, I'm looking at what I can make that looks good, plus reproduce it. So I came up with this Acorn box. And this is since I live in North Carolina, and it is for our state magazine, a North Carolina state magazine, my selling point would be is for a Carolina wren. But a finch will go in it. It's an 1.8" hole. Okay. And it is made out of southern yellow pine. So that was the other selling point that would get them. And on birdhouses, you have to be able to clean them out. So I had to figure out a way to clean them out. Now, since I'm producing these now, I've had to come up with a different way, but what I did is I put a piece of PVC pipe, that's 4-inch PVC pipe, and I don't know what you call those little things. You pound in the screw. Well, they're not. I'm not using those. I'm using a threaded insert now. And what I did is put a piece of wood in here. This is a piece of wood, and I was trying to think, holy cow, what else can I do? And they wanted a prototype. They wanted to be able to prove it, so I just sent them one just like I made here. And if you guys ever have any dealings with magazines or anything, what you send them is that's what you're gonna make. Okay, you can't change. Well, I could change my inside, but I couldn't change my outside, because this eyelet, I'm gonna tell you, that little eyelet is what I have to pay for. I didn't tell you guys, I work for a sawmill. I take care of the guys' houses, and they run about 700,000 board feet a day of southern yellow pine.
So Jerry,
That's a day, not a week.
Jerry,
Yes, sir.
I think you missed the point. I think Joe was really asking you, do you sell your birdhouses, the little ones, your hummingbird houses, to other people outside of the magazine?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And if so, how much?
Yes, I sell them we don't do shows anymore, but we do sell them like two for 50. And then I think my wife does all the price, and I don't do anything because I give half the stuff away. Yeah.
I'll be out there. FREE.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, but I think some of the guys that do this. I mean, one the other day told me he sells them for $30. But I mean, he probably, it takes me 7 minutes, which it probably takes him an hour. So I don't care. I have fun making them. I have fun giving them away. I give so many away. It's just, it's just one of them things. Especially when you're in wood turning. Basically your wood's free, and but this was the other item. I'm sorry. I was gonna bring up this one, but what I ended up finishing up this one, I ended up getting a 3-inch or 3.5-inch Forstner bit, and I got a 4-inch Forstner bit. So instead of me hollowing this out by hand, I drill them out now. And it's still tough because I start with a 2-inch, and then I move up, and it takes time. But and this is all glued up. These are glued up. There's 5 boards. So I glue up 42 inches at a time, 5 boards. So that gives me, 6 birdhouses. These are 7 inches tall. And then even the perch is pine. So if you guys, want to do something like this, this is glued up. These are 2 pieces of wood glued up. I tried one. first one was a 6x6. I used a 6x6. I had each southern yellow pine 6x6, and it was small. It looked neat, but then when you cut, a piece that checks a little bit, even if it's dry kiln, then the pith really needs to be exactly in the center, and it's sometimes they're off to the side. So I figured to being duplicatable, I'd have to glue, and that's what I do with these. And then we've got I think we've got 2 more items that go into our state after this. It's just I only have so much time. But I just mark it up as much as you can. The market stands and what you like, really. What you feel comfortable with. It's the ladies that buy them. What was there any? I guess they're still out there.
You still out there, guys?
We're still here.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very nice. Great demo.
Oh, well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me up here. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I haven't. It has really been nice. The weather's been great. And Ron's been great. Super great. All the guys have been great. What's been coming up here. And I appreciate Mike and Mike yesterday. We had a real good time.
We have Paul Stubbs here, Dave Qualls, Mike Bracken, Mike Crouch, and we had somebody else here yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't remember who. But,
Well, it's really good.
this is kind of Jerry's hometown, so 47 years ago. And he said Madison Village hasn't changed at all. So
That's what was really nice. I was so worried that when I come home that there'd be a bunch of crazy condominiums and junk, and it was literally a shock when I got up here. And it really this was the greatest place to grow up as a kid. And I'm just, and when I moved to North Carolina, I went to the Marine Corps as fast as I could to get out. But I appreciate it, you guys. And anytime you guys want me up there, you just holler.